Raman Caldwell's mansion overlooked the Pacific like a private citadel, its glass terraces cantilevered over pounding surf, but no architecture could drown the silence that settled after visiting specialists left each day. 6 months earlier, the tech magnate's only child, 8-year-old Lucas, had survived a mountain road crash that left his legs paralyzed from the waist down. Raman responded with fortress-level care. Biometric gates, on-call surgeons, and a bedroom converted into a pediatric ICU, yet the boy's spark dimmed anyway. His laughter, once ricocheting off marble corridors, had withdrawn to whispers behind a tablet screen. Roman convinced himself that money could fill every gap until Lucas began refusing therapy, saying nothing could make wheels feel like running. An executive assistant finally urged what Ramang's pride resisted. Hire a live-in caregiver whose world revolved not around machines but around imagination. Enter Mara Ellis, 27, credentials impeccable but presence disarmingly gentle. Her resume listed top pediatric rehabs, yet she arrived in faded Converse and a cardigan knitted by her grandmother. Romang interviewed her beside the indoor koi pond, presenting a salary generous enough to finance a startup. Mara tilted her head. "I'm not here for the money," she said, eyes steady. "I'm here because kids heal best when they remember who they are." Romang's jaw tightened. He'd heard platitudes from consultants billing 5 figures an hour. Still, something in Mara's quiet conviction felt different. So he signed the contract, installed her in the West Wing, and connected her phone to the property's 36 security cameras, an ordinary precaution for a man who trusted microchips. More than human motives. The first evenings passed uneventfully. Camera feeds showed Lucas pointing at constellations in the skylight while Mara read adventure novels, giving each pirate a different accent. Yet Ramon kept the screens open on his office wall as he negotiated acquisitions with Asian investors. During one late-night call, a flicker on camera 19 Lucas's therapy room caught his eye. Mara, alone, adjusted the boy's wheelchair, then stepped back, palms hovering 2 inches from the handles as if guiding invisible reins. Lucas, gripping the armrests, closed his eyes. The chair rolled forward without Mara touching it. Romang's breath snagged. Auto drive? Impossible. Insurance forbade modifications. He zoomed in. Mara's fingers twitched minutely, almost like a pianist feeling keys. The chair sped up, executed a perfect pirouette, and screeched to a halt as Lucas erupted in astonished laughter. Romang visited at dawn, masking suspicion behind espresso. "Lucas seems upbeat," he observed. Mara smiled, naming new game she'd devised. Starship Captain drills disguised core strength exercise. Treasure mapper session sneaked in fine motor rehab. Romang listened, nodding, but unsatisfied. He needed facts. After she left for breakfast duty, he inspected the chair for hidden servos or Bluetooth kits. Nothing. That night he rewound. Footage. Another clip. Mara knelt eye level and whispered, "Believe in the push," then simply stood back as Lucas glided 7 feet unaided. Roman replayed the audio. Her lips moved, yet the security mic captured only aquarium hum. He considered firing her. Miracles threatened control. Instead, he summoned Dr. Sato, Lucas's neurologist, to observe covertly. Dr. Sato arrived under the guise of a routine check. Lucas greeted him wearing a makeshift pilot's hat Mara had fashioned from foam and glitter. "Watch this, Doc," the boy chirped. Mara positioned the chair, counted down, and released. Lucas concentrated. The wheels turned. Sato's eyes widened. Mara turned to him calmly. "Mirror neurons," she explained. Lucas visualizes movements so vividly that residual spinal pathways trigger microimpulses. The chair's balanced bearings do the rest. Romang scoffed. Visualization can't move steel. Mara countered. Hope can flex muscle, science hasn't mapped yet. Sato ran surface EMG tests. Faint signals indeed pulsed in Lucas's quad signals doctors deemed impossible. Ramong's skepticism faltered, replaced by something rarer, all laced with unease at his own limits. Asterisk days morphed into radiant routines. Mara painted a galaxy on Lucas's ceiling, installing glow stars Lucas could navigate by rolling his chair's joystick, now loosened to require minimal force. She transformed spare corridors into obstacle courses of plush asteroids, coaxing micro-movements with laughter where physical therapists had elicited tears. Ramong, once glued to market tickers, began lingering at doorways witnessing skills that no algorithm could price, the art of translating clinical goals into childhood wonder. Yet his surveillance habit persisted until a stormy Thursday produced footage that froze him mid-breath. Camera 23 displayed Mara seated alone, head bowed, tears streaking her cheeks. She whispered, barely audible, "Please let this work. I can't fail another child." Ramong's heart lurched. He had never considered her stakes. Asterisk he confronted Mara the next morning, replaying the clip. She didn't flinch. Years earlier, she revealed, her younger brother had died from muscular dystrophy, a downhill slide she was powerless to stop. "Lucas reminds me of the adventures we planned but never had," she confessed. Shame pricked Ramong. He too was mourning, but behind fortress walls of wealth. Mara's vulnerability cracked his own. He deactivated interior cameras, retaining only perimeter security, a gesture of surrendered suspicion. Together they recalibrated the therapy schedule. Ramong would read space journals with Lucas at night, integrating fatherhood into the mission rather than delegating it. Asterisk progress accelerated. Lucas regained enough hip control to transfer from chair to sofa with minimal aid. Dr. Sato authorized trials on robotic exoskeleton braces, and Mara choreographed sessions to orchestral film scores, turning rehab into gala spectacle. Ramong financed a prototype lab on site, but this time credited Mara publicly, inviting her to present findings at a pediatric neurology summit. There, footage of Lucas completing 10 assisted steps drew standing ovations. Reporters latched onto headlines about the billionaire, the nanny, and the impossibility algorithm. Yet Ramong redirected spotlights onto pediatric access inequality, pledging grants to rural clinics in Mara's late brother's name. Asterisk on the anniversary of the crash, Ramong organized a modest backyard ceremony. Lucas, strapped into sleek carbon fiber supports, faced the garden path where lemon trees perfumed the air. Mara knelt beside him, murmuring the mantra, "Believe in the push." Ramong extended a hand. Lucas grasped it. One tentative foot engaged, then another. 6 steps later, father and son embraced, tears tasting of salt and citrus. Cameras now personal handhelds, not hidden captured resilience, not surveillance. Ramong looked at Mara, gratitude eclipsing any power imbalance. Wealth had hired her, but compassion had led them all somewhere money alone could never reach.